It's Valentine's Day, 2013, February 14th. Last night we watched two films. The first film was called Sex in a Cold Climate, a documentary about the Magdalene asylums in Ireland. And the second film was called The Magdalene Sisters, a drama based on the lives of some people, women who were imprisoned in those asylums, and their lives and so on. Anyway, apparently when you get a bunch of old fart virgins, male and female, running institutions, and they kind of, and they're all celibate. They think that being celibate is good and that sex is bad. And anyway, then they get a bunch of young girls in there who they can control. And what happens as a result? Well, as you might have guessed it, a whole bunch of bad things. So we saw, we learned about examples of priests basically exposing themselves during confession, and also priests bringing them to their room or in their office doing things. And then the nuns were the nuns having all the girls stripped naked, and then the nuns criticizing the women while they were naked, whether they were too fat or whether their breasts were too small or whether their breasts were big, and all these other things. Yeah. So that's the Catholic Church for you, in Ireland especially. So there's a definite impact, apparently, to having a religion. A religion imposed upon people. So I was watching a little snippet from Bill Maher's Real-Time show, and there was an ex-Mormon guy on there. And the ex-Mormon guy said, well, my father joined the Mormon church because the Mormon church they help people out so much. And yeah, that's true, but that's all within the context of they kind of help people as a means to an end, okay? And also, they're kind of hijacking natural human emotion. People get joy out of helping people, and that's just a natural thing, all right? And so the Mormon church, they hijack that. So yeah, they might help you, but they're always thinking in the back of their mind, can we convert you? We want to convert you. And if you also, they'll become very upset if you start criticizing Mormonism, and they'll basically stop helping you and become very negative. Or if you're a non-Mormon kid going to a school where there's a bunch of Mormons, they will ostracize you and stuff like that. So anyway, that's that. But back to the Catholic Church. These Magdalene asylums in Ireland, pretty bad stuff. Essentially slavery. Slavery brought to you by the Catholic Church. forced separation between mothers and children. So forced separation, basically kidnapping and slavery. What would Pope Benedict say? He'd probably say, let's sweep it under the rug. Good thing he's resigning, huh? Mr. Pedophile Enabler guy. Resigning. Oh, it's such a surprise. Big surprise. Surprise. Oh, it'll be healthy for the Catholic Church for him to resign. Yes, he's so courageous. That fucking old fart who helped protect pedophiles. Ooh, courageous. Yeah, he was so courageous when he basically ran the Church Inquisition office and basically tried to reverse all the kind of more progressive stuff that his predecessors did. Joseph Ratzinger, such a courageous guy for trying to help the Catholic Church go backwards and trying to protect pedophile priests. Yeah, so courageous. Yeah, I don't think so. Wasn't courageous. Okay? We don't love him. We don't want to kiss his ass. Why? Because he helped enable mass child rape, just like his predecessors did. So, that's that. Sometimes you gotta call a spade and realize that the emperor has no clothes. And last night and this morning I realized that the biggest problem is really a cult of personality. So religion is a word, but basically you can have a cult of personality revolving around any meme set or dogma. So, like for example, Stalin was a cult of personality, and it was basically, a state religion, right? Stalin is so great, and Stalin is good, and everyone should love Stalin. If you don't like Stalin, we'll kill you. Well, how different is that from the Catholic Church's Inquisition? That locked up Galileo and that sent conquistadors to America and killed a bunch of American Indians. And, cult of personality. That's the big problem, okay? Basically, some self-important person who thinks, basically you have to have someone who's a little bit or a lot sociopathic or psychopathic, because most people don't want to kill other people just to get power, okay? But if you get someone who does, they're basically a sociopath or psychopath, and that's why you got to fight against them, okay, and not just lay down like sheep, okay? So, sociopaths and psychopaths, you got to fight against them and recognize them. So, like, let's see, who's another psychopath or sociopath I can think of? One of them would be the head of the Church of Scientology. There was a BBC Panorama documentary, and basically the guy wanted to chap off the documentary interviewer guy as much as possible. So he sent his minions around and did all he could to chap off the guy, and then finally the guy flew off the handle, and then he said, "Hey, look, you flew off the handle." Meanwhile, the guy was trying to get him to fly off the handle anyway. So Scientology, my goodness. L. Ron Hubbard, another cult of personality. So we got L. Ron Hubbard's more nefarious, but even a supposedly benign cult of personality like Buddha is still not good. Let's take refuge in the Buddha. The Buddha this, the Buddha that, the Buddha everything. There's problems with taking refuge in the Buddha. For example, if you happen to be a Buddhist in, if you happen to have been a Buddhist in Afghanistan or India, when the Islamists came in and said, "Hey, convert or die, kiss Muhammad's and Allah's bums," well, the Buddhists didn't fight back strong enough. So then we have Islam in those places also, for some strange reason. So, anyway, that's also that. Okay, that's enough for this morning's commentary. So, avoid Catholic-run laundries, that's one point. Avoid Catholic priests and nuns, and avoid cults of personality. That's this morning's soapbox story. Okay?